Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to change a thermostat within a 1992 Toyota Century. This Toyota Century has been giving me a little bit of problems. Currently it's cold outside and it's taking forever to warm up. So I could be 20 minutes in and it would not even get 50% to the on the temperature gauge. Sometimes it'll get to 40, then it'll drop back down to 20. So my idea is that it's pretty much stuck and not allowing the valves to open. So this is a brand new one from Gates. Here goes the part number right here. Made in Japan, 33049. And all right, in order to get this thermostat to be installed, I'll go ahead and show you. First, we got to pop the hood, just like that. All right. This car with the pushrod engine, 1992 Toyota Century, is very simple to work on. Has a lot of space, and this right here is where the thermostat would be. Okay, so before you do anything, you got to make sure that the engine is cold. You do not want to work on a hot engine. All right, so at the same time, you're going to get yourself a catch pan. So if any fluids leak after I lift this up, then this catch can right here will pick everything up from below so that it doesn't hit the floor. And then from there, once we get to the end, we're gonna open this up and start the car so we can burp the antifreeze. The antifreeze that I did purchase, we have the Toyota Scion red and pink 50/50 pre-diluted antifreeze, okay? Toyota, Lexus, and Scion. All right, let's get started. We have three 12mm bolts. We're just gonna go ahead and unscrew each one of these. All right. Make sure it doesn't fall into the engine bay. So what we're gonna do now is lift up on this portion right there. And as you can see, antifreeze is leaking out, but it's okay. It can leak out like that, no problem. We have a catch pan underneath. All right, so let that drain. So once the fluid is drained, you're free to go ahead and lift this up. You don't actually have to lift this entire assembly off. You can just simply lift it up with two hands and go ahead and remove the thermostat. But keep in mind of the positioning of where this thermostat is located, because it has a hole there, but the new thermostat doesn't have a hole, but it does have this particular hole there. So you want to make sure that it's lining up the exact way that it's coming out, so it's functioning properly. So this is an 88 degrees Celsius, 190 degree Fahrenheit thermostat. It's one of the higher rated ones. So go ahead and lift this up, use one hand and lift it out. Once again, remember the positioning right there. You see, this is an older one. I'm not sure, this may be OEM from 1992. I have no idea. So that's where the mark was. Let's go ahead and put the new one in. Now keep in mind, guys, it is recommended to replace the gasket. As you can see, there's a gasket there, but because this is an older car, it's actually pretty difficult to find that particular gasket. I found a gasket, but as you can see here, this is a 3-hole gasket and I only have 2, so I purchased the wrong one, but it's okay. So I'll just make sure I tighten down the bolts and then we can go from there. As long as I got a new thermostat, then I'm good with that. It's time to go ahead and retighten the bolts. It's 12mm once again, and you should not have a problem after that. They don't have to be extremely tight. It wasn't essentially that tight to take off anyways, that hard. It was pretty easy. All right. So what I'm gonna do is get this particular flex head ratchet and I'll tighten them down all the way. Just pretty much as tight as it can go, and just 1/4 turn after that. Tight as it needs to be. It's not going anywhere, no leaks. Okay, so next up, what we're gonna do is open up this radiator cap. It was driven earlier, but it shouldn't have any pressure. And we're gonna burp the system because we did lose quite an amount of antifreeze. You see that? There's none there. So we're gonna set this aside, go ahead and clean this cap off. All right, so once we remove that radiator cap, what we're gonna do is start the engine with it off, and then we're gonna put antifreeze in there all the way until it can't go anymore, essentially burping it each time until it goes up, down, up, down. So we're pretty much trying to get it right here to the max fill line. There's already red pink in there, but it's below where it needs to be. Almost there. Got a little bit more to go. As you can already see, the engine is already running cooler with the addition of the new antifreeze. A little bit more. Once it gets to the top, as you can see, it's gurgling. So what you'll go ahead and do is just go ahead and let it burp until it doesn't burp anymore. And while it's doing that, let's go ahead and check our reservoir. And it's not quite there, so once it's done here, we'll go ahead and open this and put some in there as well. So you're gonna let it burp until it's done. All right, so we're gonna go here and put some in here as well till it gets to the max fill line. All right, I went ahead and filled it to the max fill line, guys. So my job is done when it comes to this thermostat. I've already let it run for a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and check our temperature inside. All right, let's go ahead and check the gauge cluster for the thermostat. And I think we have a winner. There it goes. It's right at the center. That's where it should be. It was never there prior to me putting this new thermostat in. So as we can see, the old thermostat was done for. So we just ran it for just a couple of minutes and it reached the line where it should be, which is midway between hot and cold. So that's showing that the thermostat is working. All right, guys, thank you for joining me on this fix for the thermostat in a 1992 Toyota Century. Join me back next time for more future fixes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Toyota Century inside the United States. Have a nice day.